In this video, we've picked the top 5 pole saws, not just by looking at specs or brand names, but by actually putting them to work. Anyone can read off features like bar length or battery voltage, but that doesn't tell you how a saw feels in your hands, how well it cuts when you're reaching overhead, or whether it's worth the hassle after 10 minutes of real use. We tested these in actual yards on different trees, thick and thin branches, because what matters isn't the listed horsepower, it's how the tool performs when you need it most. This list is for real people with different needs. Whether you want something light for occasional cleanup or a workhorse for big jobs, we'll help you pick the right one without getting lost in spec sheet jargon. At number 5 is the Echo 12-inch 25.4 cubic centimeter gas pole pruner. I used this saw for a week on mature trees, including hardwoods like elm and oak. It's loud, heavy, and needs gas mixing, but the cutting performance is unmatched in this list. The 25.4 cc engine doesn't hesitate through thick branches. If you've got limbs over 6 or 7 inches and want to get the job done without worrying about battery limits, this is what you want. The 12-inch bar is the biggest here and handled cuts that battery models would stall on. The telescoping shaft gives solid reach, about 14 to 15 feet when extended, and the inline handle helps you guide cuts with more control. But it's not for the average homeowner. If you only trim a couple of trees each season or prefer quiet tools, skip this one. This is for someone with a big yard, regular trimming needs, or professional work. It's a serious tool with serious output. At number 4 is the Black+Decker 20-volt max cordless pole saw. I tested this specifically with light-duty trimming in mind, ornamental trees, fruit trees, and lower branches. It's lightweight, under 9 pounds, and beginner-friendly. The 8-inch bar is fine for limbs up to about 5 to 6 inches. The battery gave me about 40 to 60 cuts on pine before needing a recharge, which is fair for light weekend jobs. There's no automatic oiler, which means you'll need to manually oil the chain every so often. The adjustable shaft gives you up to 10 feet of length, which with arm reach totals around 13 to 14 feet. This is the pole saw I'd hand to someone who's never used one before. It's reliable, easy to store, and does exactly what it says without fuss. But it's not meant for dense branches or thick tree trunks. For regular yard upkeep and occasional branch cleanup, this is a safe and affordable pick. At number 3 is the Greenworks 40-volt 8-inch pole saw. This is the most balanced cordless saw in this group. I tested it against both the Black+Decker and DeWalt to see how it handled medium diameter limbs. It ran stronger and longer than the 20-volt models thanks to the 40-volt battery, and cut through 5 to 7-inch limbs with noticeably less strain. I got around 80 to 100 cuts per charge. The saw has automatic oiling, toolless chain tensioning, and a sturdy aluminum shaft that extends up to 11 feet of reach. The 3-piece shaft design feels solid, no noticeable flex or wobble while reaching overhead. This one is great for people who want more power than entry-level cordless but don't want the maintenance of gas. It's also part of the Greenworks battery platform, so it's convenient if you're already using their gear. If your yard has several mature trees and you want dependable cordless performance, this is a workhorse. At number 2 is the Worx WG323 20-volt cordless pole saw. This one's unique because it converts from a pole saw to a handheld 10-inch chainsaw, which I found really useful. I trimmed smaller trees using the pole, then detached it to cut fallen limbs on the ground. It's a smart 2-in-1 setup that saves money and storage space. The 10-inch bar gives you better reach for thicker branches than most 8-inch models, and the chain speed of 12.5 feet per second makes cuts feel faster and cleaner. I appreciated the automatic chain tensioning and oiling, no adjustments needed during the job. Runtime with the included battery was around 60 to 80 cuts, similar to other 20-volt systems. At just £10, it's light enough to work with overhead for 20 to 30 minutes without shoulder fatigue. This is a great choice for someone who wants more cutting capacity and tool flexibility without the jump to gas or pro-grade gear. Especially good if you're already using Worx tools and batteries. At number 1 is the DeWalt 20-volt Max XR pole saw. After testing all 5, this one is clearly the most refined cordless model. It doesn't feel like a battery-powered compromise. It feels like a pro tool. I cut through 4x4s and dense tree branches up to 6 inches without slowdown. The brushless motor is efficient, and the included 4 amp-hour battery gave me nearly 100 cuts per charge. The pole extends to 10 feet, giving about 15 feet of reach, and it has a full-size tree hook and metal bucking spikes that genuinely help when you're trying to steady cuts overhead. Everything is automatic, chain oiling, chain tension, and the grip is designed for extended use. What stood out to me is the tool's balance. Even at full extension, it didn't feel top-heavy or awkward. It's quieter, easier to store, and low maintenance, but still gives you cutting performance that rivals gas saws in most residential jobs. If you want the best cordless pole saw without stepping into gas territory, this is it. So that wraps up our list of the top 5 pole saws. Hopefully this helped you figure out which one actually fits your yard, your trees, and how you like to work. Remember, there's no single best saw for everyone. It's about finding the one that matches your specific needs, whether that's lightweight and simple or powerful and professional. If you've got questions or want to share what's worked for you, drop it in the comments. We always read them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.